Hey everyone, welcome to a special edition of Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini.
Very special edition.
Tonight is the Woodshed edition, aka to supervisors.
So if you've ever seen Woodshed Night, you know tonight is my favorite topic. We're going to have a really good time telling supervisors what not to do and how they can go about being superheroes for you versus villains.
Yeah. So in the meantime, please don't post any questions yet. In the meantime...
Because we're 5 minutes early.
Yeah, this is why we got on 5 minutes early. So I could share, and so you could share. Go ahead and tag your friends so they're on here watching. Share to win a $100 gift card of your choice for March and a date with Chris, like we said last week. Da-da-da-da-da. And,
not that I wouldn't be willing to do it, but you know, knowing my schedule, like what? Anyways,
if you win, we're gonna throw in a pair with the $100 gift card.
All right.
Okay. So those of you that share,
hey Jerry,
and at the month end, if you share, not only do you win a $100 gift card, but you also win both books. So the gift card will be in the book. And those of you...
Well, JJ, what's up?
So before you guys start going crazy with your supervisor woodshed questions, take a minute. I mean, we still have like 4 minutes before we really start. We're going to do a little bit of housekeeping so we can get that out of the way before we start.
While we're doing our housekeeping, you all have a chance to hit the share button and let your friends and your coworkers who are your friends that you like, let them know that this is happening. Just hit the share button. It's really easy. And everyone hit the follow button and the like button too. So like, follow, and share. Ron, what's up? Ron Jackson. In this last 4 minutes before we start, everyone go get your glass of water. Tonight's going to be fun. Get your popcorn, whatever it is that you like. And let's have a good time. I'm going to want everyone who's listening and watching, if you had a bad experience with your supervisor related to OWCP, okay, related to a work injury, I'd like to hear your story. You're going to have to give us the Cliff Notes version because she's going to read your story, and then I'm going to talk about the rules you could have used to prevent the problem that you're having. So I'm going to be very interested in your horror stories. Now, with that said, and speaking of horror stories, go to, if you want copies of my books, either one of them, that's Volume 1. That's Volume 2, and they're both called Breaking OWCP. You can go to breakingowcp.com, and you can get copies of either book or both books. They're $14.95 individually. If you buy them together, they're $22, so $11 each, and free shipping as always. Hi, Kim. I saw you say hi. So breakingowcp.com, you're going to find that these books are great tools for you when you have a work injury, or if you know somebody else that does, because you'll be able to flip to the table of contents and find the topic that is in question, and you'll be able to handle it. But when you have this information, supervisors don't have as much power over you because you have the knowledge that they don't have and that they don't want you to have, okay? So, but I do want you to have it. So go to breakingowcp.com. Whoever orders them tonight will have them shipped off tomorrow. And then understand, we're going to be actually out of town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I won't be able to ship any books until Monday. So anything that's ordered tonight, I can ship off tomorrow. But starting Friday, I'll be down for 3 days, just so everyone knows.
All right, we have 1 minute before you guys start blowing us up.
1 minute warning.
Hold your questions, please. All right, don't forget, share, like, and follow. Share, like, and follow. Get your friends. Help me get to 10,000 followers.
Should they share?
And share.
And should they like and follow?
You should like and follow.
So how would you follow? How do you follow?
You go to Wednesday night OWCP Chats and just click the button that says follow.
It says follow?
It says follow.
Spelled the normal way?
FOLLOW.
Even with the W.
ER, follower.
She messed it up. Hit the follow button. But yeah, we had 7,300 followers today, which we're really grateful for all of you new followers and all of you that have been with us. So if you share this, we're likely to have a lot more, and we're able to help a lot more people. The second book, the subtitle is called You're Not Alone.
You are not alone.
It's going to be this kind of night. The reason I said that, she's going to throw me off. Like, we got Ellie dealt with, now I got to deal with her. But the whole point is that, I'm here to help you, but you're here to help someone else. So you can share this page, you can share the book, you can share information, you can go post a CA-10 on your bulletin board, what a federal employee should do when injured at work. And you can point that CA-10 out to a coworker and say, hey, this is here, now read it, and so that people understand it. So we want you to be able to pass it on. So I'm doing what I'm doing, but you can multiply what I do by telling someone else what you learned here. So please share this. We really appreciate it, and your coworkers will appreciate it. And the last thing I'll say is I don't want someone else to be the next person to say, I wish I would have known you 3 years ago, or I wish I would have known you when I needed it. If you wait until you need it, it's too late. So, here we are. We're doing this thing where we give you the information, and tonight is Woodshed night, so we're all going to have fun. So again, and yes, obviously we're going to have fun at the supervisor's expense. So if you're a supervisor for a federal agency and you're here watching tonight, thanks for being here. You're not going to like it, but you might learn from it. And if you learn from it, then you'll be helping the people that I'm really here to help, your employees.
Well, first of all, we have a lot of supervisor friends.
And we love you because
all of them are bad.
Okay. So that's a good qualification. We know that not everyone is bad, but you know that most of them are. So we're talking to the most of them, not to you. So those of you that are here following and are with us, we appreciate you. We wish the rest of the supervisors were like you.
And okay, so before we begin, I know you guys are going to start blowing us up. So I'm going to have Chris tell you guys what's coming up as far as franchises and where we're located, so we get that out of the way till the end.
All right, so I'm looking at a map over here. It's always in that corner. So we're in, starting from left to right, we're in Seattle, Washington. We're in Portland, Oregon. We're in McKinney and Dallas, Texas. And we're adding Houston, Texas. We're really excited. A doctor that I trained a few years ago has decided she wants to join us. We're really hoping that we're going to add a Tucson doctor, too, who worked with us years ago as well. He's really good, so we hope we're going to get Dr. Heaton with us. We've got an office in Walker, Louisiana, which is right outside of Baton Rouge, and we're about to bring one on in Alexandria, Louisiana, which is an hour and a half sort of north of that. We've got an office in Birmingham, Alabama, and Dr. Harper has signed a lease, he has equipment, and he's already credentialed for Montgomery, Alabama. So we'll be doing his grand opening at mid-April, I think on the 17th, we'll see. So Alabama, we've got Birmingham and Montgomery. We're in Memphis, Tennessee. Thankfully, there are some of you that finally woke up and said, whoa, I'm in Tennessee, I need some help, and have started calling Dr. Wooten. So we're really excited about that because so far everybody we've helped has an accepted claim. So Memphis, Tennessee, it's a huge opportunity to avoid denied claims in Memphis. And then we've got an office that we are still working on in Fort Lauderdale. We're trying to bring that one along. And we talked to a group today that has 10 other Florida offices all around the state. We're really excited about that because Florida has such a high population. It needs more people, just like California and New York do. And so anyways, we're in Greenville, South Carolina. They just got credentialed today, so we're getting really good at the credentialing. We're getting things done in like a day now. We have one that's on hold in Charlotte because the chiropractor, who's a great guy, is having a little bit of trouble with his medical doctor. And as you all know, you got to have the MD. So, but anyways, that's coming, Charlotte. We're in Maryland, and if you hear Ellie in the background, she's outside, and nobody's abusing her. She's not stuck in a cage. She's not hungry. She's well loved and well fed. She just doesn't see me, and she's not happy about it. And then we're in Massachusetts, right outside of Boston, in Norwood and Quincy. And last but not least, we are in Chicago, Illinois. And for those of you that saw us last week, you saw that we were there doing Facebook Live from Dr. Arcaleo's office. So that's what we've got going so far. But today I talked to 2 doctors in California and Southern Cal, both in Los Angeles County, actually. So that's coming. We're really excited about that. And I'm restarting conversations with a doctor who's got 3 locations around the Las Vegas area. So we got a lot going on there. It's a lot of work to get offices signed up with us, and but we're doing it. We're just working as hard as we can to make it happen. So that is that's the franchise story.
Yeah, Gina, you said Orlando. We'll be.
Orlando's one of those
Yeah,
10 offices of Florida. They actually have an east and a west Orlando location.
And a Kissimmee address.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be in good hands.
Correct.
All right, guys. I know. Hey, Mr. Rich Ray.
Hey, Rich, listen, we've talked to now 3 or 4 doctors in Staten Island. We're getting closer. A deal's a deal. I made you a promise, so we're working hard on it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into. Hold on with your questions.
Nah,
please.
bring them, but we're going to be way behind.
Yeah.
And so it's fine. You can ask them, but some people get impatient. They say, well, you forgot my question. It's just, there's going to be a lot. Don't forget to give me your horror stories. I know that came out sounding like a different word. I meant, bad things that happened to you after you had a work injury related to your supervisors. Whatever stories you have, whatever bad problems you went through, I can use those as a teaching instrument. So I want to hear about them.
Okay, so let's get this one out of the way. Marie Knowles, until 5 months later, I asked for limited duty for 5 months before I received my job offer.
Well, if your claim was accepted, they owed you a limited duty job offer. And those of you that are union reps here, you know that that's your responsibility to help out. When a modified job offer isn't made, you know that it should have been. And so for those of you that have that problem, you need to go to your union and get help. Because when you have an accepted claim and you've got a CA-17 on file, the agency is supposed to do everything it can to give you a modified job offer. And those job offers can be at a different office, but it's still got to be within 50 miles of where you live. And that's a rule that's broken all the time too. So, hey, let's start there. Hey, management, don't do that. Don't send people more than 50 miles from where they live. That's just mean. And in some cases, they can't make the drive anyways. And the rule states that it's 50 miles if they can make the drive. Physically. So that's a rule. Supervisors, don't do that to your people. That's totally rude.
Yeah, so tonight, those of you that came on a little late, we are talking about taking the supervisors out to the woodshed.
No, behind it.
Oh, behind the woodshed.
We're not letting
so
them inside. Nah, we're not putting them inside. We take them out to the back.
Yeah, we take them to the back and beat the crap out of them.
No. We don't do violence.
Oh, what do we do?
I verbally spank them.
Just with a OWCP lesson?
It's a tongue lashing.
Ew.
Yeah.
So I'm
Tasty.
Jeannie, this is Chris. We educate federal employees nationwide, all agencies, all unions. However, we are not affiliated with any of the unions. Sunil? We are not affiliated with any of the unions, so that you guys know. But when I tell you guys to share and I share, we're able to do so because you guys, the admins, have allowed us to share on the page.
Yeah.
Okay. Christine Pellerin said, what happens to an OWCP case in retirement?
Well, OWCP cases technically have lifetime medical benefits. So even in retirement, if you need help, you should be able to get help. Your doctor will have to write narrative reports explaining why you need the help, and then they pre-authorize the treatment that you need. So retirement doesn't close a case necessarily. What closes cases is inactivity. So say you stop going to the doctor for 3 or 6 months, your case will get closed.
Yeah.
That's what closes a case, but not retirement.
Jerry said, so back in 2011, my supervisor would not allow me to come into the office while I was out on OWCP to get my son's MP3 player he had loaned me. He was having to go live with his dad because I had not had a paycheck in several months and couldn't buy heating and oil and heat. I wanted to run in and get out of the desk drawer. She came out loading docks, screaming at me to get off postal property. I was already so emotional, and my son was in the car and leaving in a couple of hours. I just broke down crying, pleaded for her to please just either escort me or send someone in to get it for me. She refused and kept screaming. I left in tears. God. Jerry, we're sorry.
There's our Jerry?
Yeah, and she also said, horrified my son witnessed it, but that's okay. I documented it all, and hopefully a class action suit won by Thomas Solman will compensate me for that and other offenses. Good.
So that reminds me of speaking with Al here. We were having lunch with him a while back. And Al was talking about a person who was verbally degrading to one of the carriers. By verbally degrading, I mean using just bad language, right? Cuss words and stuff. And so they filed a grievance, and Al won that grievance. And that doesn't happen anymore in that office with that person.
Nope.
So I know that you can file grievances on that stuff. They're not allowed to berate you and treat you bad. And look, I don't know all of the post office, policies and their own special rules for you as employees, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a rule that says that their supervisors can treat you like crap and disallow you from coming into the office. That's just ridiculous. And I'm sorry that happened to you, Jerry. And I'm particularly sorry about it because that really upsets me.
Renee Marie. If you message me privately, I could give you the information to give to the doctors that you think that would be interested in your state.
Yeah, we'd be happy to talk to anybody.
Juanita King said, "Yay, Chicago. I did not make it. I was in the hospital from Monday to Wednesday night. Had chest pain while on duty and went to work. It's okay. We'll be back in Chicago, guys. Don't worry."
And you know who's still there? That doctor. You can still go. But I'm sorry we missed you. Hey, look. Mary's on. Hi, Mary. We got to meet her.
Felix Ray said, "Thanks for sharing all your knowledge."
You're welcome,
Rich
Felix.
Ray said, "We are praying, brother. We need your network here." Madeline said, "Yay," from Staten Island.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read a few more questions, and then we're going to continue on with the Woodshed Show.
The Woodshed Show.
The Woodshed Show.
Woodshed Show.
Yeah.
Say it. Woodshed Show.
Woodshed Show.
Woodshed Show.
Woodshed Show? Whoops. Gina said, "What was that, a CA 18 or 17?
Well, there's no such thing as a CA 18, so
Yeah.
let's say it was a 17. A CA 17 is a duty status report that your doctor can write restrictions or take you off of work or send you back to work. And you get that from the supervisor, and then when it's all filled out, you turn it back into the supervisor. And then with your accepted claim, they're required to find suitable work to meet, to work within your restrictions.
Yeah, and so those of you that are watching, just watching because you just happen to be on our newsfeed,
Welcome.
hello to the regular people out there. We're talking about supervisors, and we deal with federal work comp, not state, federal work comp.
Like not private companies,
Right.
just the federal agencies.
And you have to understand why we do and why we get so many views about the supervisors. Supervisors don't treat federal employees well at all.
No, it's pretty bad.
So if you see some things being said, this is what's happening.
Yeah, and if you're not an employee of a federal agency and you work someplace where they hire professional managers with training and HR backgrounds and they treat people nice, good for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Javon said, "I still tell you people about both of you." Aw.
Thanks, Siobhan.
David said, "Also, they get paid in differences in mileage from their home office to the job offer office. We want a grievance on that." Well,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to drive, up to 50 miles to the new work site. That can't be for free. There's a cost to that.
Yeah.
So really great point. Great point.
Okay. All right. Yarbeth Montez said, "I hurt my back and my doctor had stated in my CA 17 needed a chair with a back, not a stool. And my supervisor said they couldn't do that because it was more of an accommodation than a restriction note. That everyone else that's been in light duty, pregnant, etc., they have no problem with the chairs. And when I requested it, they said no. Plus, they took away all the chairs with backs off the floor."
You got to be kidding me. So I would hope that you talk to your union. I would hope your union is strong enough to fight those things. The fact that they couldn't give you a chair is one thing. But the fact that they said, well, pregnant people didn't need it. Well, I'm not pregnant. I have a back injury. Well, past people with injuries didn't need it. Well, this is my injury, not that injury. So I'm not them. Who cares about them? And your doctor is the one that suggested this is important. So, but the fact they didn't give it to you is one thing, but then to add insult to injury, they took all the other ones away. There's got to be a grievance on that. That's a shit I'm talking about. Okay, it's just this hateful, nasty crap that supervisors do. If any of you are on here and you're one of those supervisors that are willing to do hateful, nasty crap, man, you should probably turn this off because this is about to get ugly for you. I wouldn't keep watching if I was you.
All right. How many of you on here currently have both of these books, or one or the other? How many of you?
Just give us a
hit
bunch
the
of like
or
buttons.
the heart button.
Even if you didn't like the book, hit the like button.
Bup.
Give them a second. There's a little delay.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So the reason why I'm asking you guys, if you have the book, I'm going to have Chris turn to the page in one of the books that has the supervisor rules and all that fun stuff. Let's see those hearts and likes. Woo, let's see everybody that got a book. Awesome. So we're going to go over some rules that a lot of you may or may not know. The ones that have been with us forever know, but it's always good to talk about it again, because we do talk about supervisors a couple times a year because you guys always request it. All right, let's go with some rules.
Yeah, so in the volume 1, book 1, the black book, the little black book. If you go to page 121, it's chapter 16. It's rules, laws, and regulations. These are specific rules, laws, and regulations that apply to you as it applies to OWCP, or Federal Workers' Comp injuries. And I list the rules in CFR, so Code of Federal Regulations, or the United States Code, USC, or if it comes from a post office website or from a CA 810 form, I list where it comes from so you can go find it yourself. And you can always Google these using the headings that are in the book. Like if you see that, it says 20 CFR 10.300, right? Well, that's the Code of Federal Regulations. And so I'm going to go through all of these and tell you why they're in here. So this first one is, what are the basic rules for authorizing emergency medical care? For authorizing it, huh? So what are we talking about? We're talking about CA 16s. So the first rule that I discuss in here is when an employee sustains a work-related traumatic injury, in other words, a CA1 claim, that requires medical examination, medical treatment, or both, the employer shall authorize such exam and or treatment by issuing a Form CA-16.
Shall, the word shall.
So when an employee sustains a work-related traumatic injury that requires medical examination, medical treatment, or both, the employer shall issue a CA-16. It goes down, letter B of this says they shall do it within 4 hours of the claimed injury. So you're required to get a CA-16 within 4 hours of the claimed injury. So why is this a potential disaster for you? Because when supervisors refuse to give you the CA-16, here's why they do it. They'll say, well, I don't know what that form is, or I never heard of the form, or I don't have to give you the form, or you're not even hurt that bad, you don't need the form. Well, I just read the rule. It didn't say if the supervisor thinks you're hurt bad enough, or if the supervisor feels like it, if they know what the form is, or if they can find it. It says they shall issue it within 4 hours. Well, why is that such a big deal? Because when you go to the doctor and you're injured, who understands it's not free? You're going to pay co-pays and deductibles and co-insurances, and it can get very expensive, especially if you go straight to the ER. That's a very expensive visit, right? But if you have a CA-16, it pays all of those medical bills for the first 60 days after your injury. So can you see how it'd be a total disaster financially to show up without one of these forms? Well, supervisors all the time refuse to give it. In fact, when I first started training doctors, I told the doctors, and this is around 2015, 2016, when I started training offices in that capacity, I started telling them, the exception to the rule is that people are going to get a CA-16. But in general, they just won't get one, and that's a disaster for them. So now we do this. We've got the books and at breakingowcp.com. And we've got this training here, and now I'm training doctors all over the country. We're in 11 states right now to teach you to get your CA-16s. Well, when you get them, you don't start off, with one arm tied behind your back and with someone picking your wallet. You get to keep your money, and this form pays your bills. Well, supervisors don't give you the forms. So that's the first rule, because I think it's the first problem that people have when they report a CA1 injury is, how do I pay for this now? And you never have to pay it back, even if your claim's not approved. The CA-16 money is yours. You don't have to pay it back. So definitely be sure you're getting a CA-16. And then the next problem people have is their supervisors say, you have to go to the doctor I tell you to go to. You got to go to this urgent care, this ER, or if you're a VA employee, you have to go see the VA doctors, who are, as you've all heard me say, usually world-class doctors, but they're not OWCP trained. So your managers and your HR people are saying, you have to go see our doctor. But the rule, and I start with the CA 810. It's a form you can look up, CA 810. It says, an employee is entitled to initial choice of physician for treatment of an injury. You're entitled to your own doctor. Nobody can stop you. Later on, it says this. Check it out. It goes, agency personnel, meaning your supervisors, your HR, Agency personnel may not interfere with your right, the employee's right, to choose a physician, nor may they require an employee to go to a physician who's employed by or under contract with the agency, meaning like a VA doctor, before going to the physician of the employee's choice. This says you have the right to choose and nobody can stop you. That's important. Why is that important? Well, 1 out of 7 injured people has an accepted claim nationwide, and that's because they're going to the right doctor. The other 6 out of 7 who don't have an accepted claim went to the wrong doctor. They went where they were told to go. And supervisors are notorious for doing this, of making you go and making you feel like you have to go to the doctor they choose. They send you to an urgent care to be seen by a PA or a nurse practitioner who doesn't get a medical doctor to countersign the notes. Boom, denied. Automatic denial. And that's what happens. So they send you to an automatic denial. Or if you work at a VA, they send you to a VA doctor. Boom, automatic denial. I've never seen a single claim accepted that was done by a VA doctor. It's because they don't know how to write the reports. And they don't have time. I mean, who's ever been to a VA and thought the doctors had plenty of time on their hands? Like, they definitely don't. How are they going to write a 5-page report to get your claim accepted? So that's the other thing. You know, the horror stories of not getting a CA-16 and then having to go to the wrong doctor, you just getting started off on such a bad foot. It's almost hard to recover from for some people. So get your CA-16s and go see your own doctor. But if you have a CA-10 posted in your office, which you need to, and if you don't, go to our website, federalinjurycenters.com. It's another website. There's Breaking OWCP, and then there's federalinjurycenters.com. There's an OWCP Forms tab. You should go there and print all the CA-10s that you want and post them. Jerry Gatewood says post them on the bathroom stall doors. Yeah. I love it. Post them everywhere because that's how people know what to do. The second thing on that, the second section of that says get a CA-16 and choose your own doctor. If you do those two things, then your odds of having accepted claims and your odds of having no hassles or low hassles go way up. Okay? And a lot of the horror stories go away.
Yeah. Before all of you start asking me, right down here, I posted where to buy the books. I posted phone numbers if you need to contact us. And I posted attorney Eric Blowers' phone number because you guys always ask me for that. So everything is pinned down below. You'll get Kamini, Jennifer, or Emmy answering the calls. So those are the 3 people, or Chris or I or Tom, that answers calls. Marie, I didn't like this. Our supervisor isn't happy unless she's belittling someone in front of others. File a grievance. An EEO claim, right? For that one?
Yep, file an EEO claim.
That's not good.
So that's part of the woodshed time. When they're doing these things to you, you can file EEO claims. You just go to eeoc.gov. And they have people that are, I think they're called counselors, EEO counselors. And you can ask to speak to one of them and tell them your story. So you're not making accusations. You're just saying, here's the truth. And always tell the truth, obviously. Anybody that knows me knows I'm really big on that. Always, always, always tell the truth. Because, you know the saying, the truth shall set you free. Well, really, in this deal, the truth is everything. Because supervisors will often say things that aren't true. We'll talk about that in a second. As long as you always do, and your doctor always does, you're going to win every time. So call EEO and tell your story. The same thing with OSHA.
Yes. You
know, when you have an occasion to call OSHA at 1-800-321-OSHA, always just tell your story, and say, hey, is this a violation? And Rich Ray wrote USPS.com. That's right, Rich. I'm going to talk about that in a second. He's seen the book, so he knows this is in here. But the USPS did us a favor and wrote specifically what happens to supervisors that do this stuff. That's the ultimate woodshed moment. We'll get to that in a second.
All right. Rich said, I gave a copy of the book to my postmaster. She's going to read it. She might agree to do training with the union with OWCP. I'm being the biggest pain in the ass. I told her if management learns how to treat people and deal with OWCP cases, I will continue, or I'll continue grieving. She might agree to do the training with the supervisors, parentheses, stupid visors. Regarding your book, that's how good it is.
That was Rich's words, not mine, but
yeah.
I echo it. Let's put it that way.
Matt Hayes. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Matt?
I just went back to work. I was released January 25th, 2021.
Congratulations.
January 27th, I received a letter of removal and filed a grievance and got my job back.
Nice.
Great.
That's what we're talking about. I say this all the time. We know people like you who they want to remove you. And, you're off work for a few days. That's like a vacation because you're coming back and you're getting your time back. So good for you.
Yep.
And good for your union handling that.
He said, thank God for our union. I was denied right before Christmas for reconsideration. I remember that. Eric filed an ECAB appeal. I'm still waiting to hear back from that. Great.
Excellent. Yeah, and when you do ECAB, you need Eric. So good work. Definitely good work.
Judy Frazier, hello from Chicago. Judy,
What's up, Judy?
we didn't see you last week.
We'll see you next time, though. We'll be back.
Sharon said the VA is the worst. Been through the nightmare.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time in VAs. We're really good friends with a lot of the AFGE union reps there, the presidents, all the way to the top. So we really have a heart for VA employees and for all AFGE members. And you all know, look, I could sit and list all your unions, okay? You know I love you all. But we've spent a lot of time in the VAs, and we know for sure, like, you guys are getting hosed.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Why can't I say Renee Marie? Said, my first injury was a dog bite that didn't full break the skin. I was okay the first day, but after working to that day and following over 12 hours, the wound was swollen and hurting.
Yeah.
I told my manager I wanted to go have it seen. I was told it was too late and they couldn't process the paperwork unless it was reported first thing in the morning.
Interesting.
I came back the next morning and was made to take my route out before getting the paperwork and seeing the doctor. The doctor recommended rest. I was back, but on the clock to do some additional work instead. Wow.
So let's stop there. This is the next thing. I see this crap all the time, okay? Somebody tell your supervisors to stop being supervisors, okay? Here's the deal. You don't have, what was it, 3 days? 2 days?
2.
3 weeks? 2 weeks?
2.
30 days? It's none of those, is it?
5.
You have 3 years to report your injuries. 3 years. I don't care if it's a dog bite that didn't break the skin or a broken leg that's barely hanging on by the skin. You have 3 years to report the injury. 3 years. Not 3 days, not 3 weeks, not 3 months. 3 years. And
Bill,
I want to read the rules.
Oh.
Hold on. Hey, Bill, hang on a second. So check this out. 20 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, 10.100, says for injuries sustained on or after September 7th, 1974. That's a year before I was born. So for a very long time. A notice of injury must be filed within, read that, within how much time? Within what?
I think it says 3 years.
Within 3 years of the injury. I'll be damned.
3 years, is it?
Yeah.
3 years. Not 90 days, not 30 days, not 30 days. We hear it all the time. Supervisors are telling you guys you only have 30 days. Ask them to show you where it says that, because when they find it, the book and the CFR code has it there. It's 3 years.
If you want to know where it says that, it's in here at breakingowcp.com. But check this out.
Go online.
This is so important. They wrote this 2 places in the law. So I read you the Code of Federal Regulations. Here's what 5 U.S. Code 8122 says. It says, an original claim, original, does that mean like the first claim?
The first claim.
An original claim for compensation for disability or death, don't die, but for disability, must be filed within 3 years after the injury. There's another place that says 3 years. And then check this out. Compensation for disability or death, including medical care and disability cases, may not be allowed if the claim is not filed within that time. Within 3 years? Well, we can all make it to 3 years. There's another thing, though. Within 3 years.
3. Okay, talk amongst yourselves, folks, while he looks at the book.
Oh, here it is. Letter B says, in a case of a latent disability, in other words, a CA2 claim, the time for filing the claim does not begin, that 3 years, does not begin to run until the employee has a compensable disability and is ready, aware, or by the exercise of reasonable diligence should have been aware of the causal relationship of the compensable disability to employment. In other words, on a CA2 claim, you have 3 years from when you knew it was work-related. So it's always 3 years. And this is a thing that happens. Look, there are many of you right now walking around work, limping around, wishing that you could get help, and somebody lied to you and said that your time is up. You have 3 years. You're not even close to done. You should all, tomorrow, go report your injury and go to your supervisor. All of you line up, okay? Have a line at the door and say, I want my CA1. I want my CA2. I want to report my injury. It's my right to report an injury.
I want my CA16.
And when they, well, it's a different story. You only have 7. You have to report within 7 days to get a CA16, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about actually reporting your injury. I want you all to line up and, get your forms filled out. And then go to the doctor and, get this stuff on file. But when your supervisor says, I'm not going to let you do that, I want you to contact OSHA. Again, 1-800-321-OSHA. Because OSHA has a list of 9 employee rights. Number 6 says the right to report a work injury. And OSHA also says it's a crime to prevent someone from exercising their rights. So if they don't let you fill out your forms, I want you to call OSHA and tell them your story. If you have a claim, it's very likely that they're going to come out and check on you and all of your coworkers. Okay, they're going to take care of this. So I want you to all line up tomorrow and get inside your 3-year window. Don't let them do this to you anymore. You have a right to report your injuries.
Somebody was asking what page that's on in the book about those codes you just read.
What, the 3 years?
Yeah.
It's, well, you just took me off the page. It is
Right there.
page 127 and 128
On the first book.
on the first book.
Okay, so Bill Lynch said you can go to your doctor for treatment, but just to get checked out, you are obligated to go to their doctor if they instruct you.
Bill,
Bill,
hold on.
They don't. That's wrong.
This is really important, Bill, and I understand it with all respect. Okay, I don't know you, Bill. You don't know me. But you should know that I'm actually reading from rules. I'm not reading from opinion. And the CA 810 says an employee is entitled to their initial choice of physician. And then it says, agency personnel may not interfere with the employee's right to choose their physician, nor may they require an employee to go to a physician who's employed by or under contract to the agency before going to the physician of their choice. This is unequivocal. It does not say you have to go to them first. I'm not telling you not to. Maybe going to an urgent care is the right thing for you. Okay, maybe you need something that's urgent. But I'm telling you, the rule is very specific. You have the right to choose your own doctor, and nobody can get in the way of that choice, period. Anybody else that says different is wrong, with all respect.
Yeah, and don't forget, look at the CA10. The CA10 has it on there, that you can choose your own doctor. Now, they may suggest something if you guys don't have something, and you may want to look at it, but they can't force you to go to their doctor.
But wait, there's more.
But wait.
20 CFR 10.300, letter D. In the book, I've got it bold and underlined because it is kind of funny. It says, everyone follow me on this one. The employer should advise the employee of the right to his or her initial choice of physician. The employer shall allow the employee to select a qualified physician. Initial. The employer should advise you of your right to choose your own doctor and shall allow you to do so. This is so important. Look, this is it's just saying you can choose your own doctor. Nobody can get in the way. Nobody can say, nope, you must go to the urgent care. Nobody can tell you that. If you do, don't go back a second time either, because you'll be stuck with that doctor. And that doctor is going to definitely keep your claim denied.
Yeah, Rockman said, pending final review by FICA, how long does this step take? Should it take?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what step we're talking about. How long? I'm sorry, Rob. I don't know what step we're talking about. So help me out there. Give me a little more information if you can.
Okay, he said, hello from Georgia. Once I filed an EEO claim regarding my OWCP after I received a positive decision from the hearing authority, and now my OWCP status changes pending final review by FICA. Do you have any suggestions?
Can I see that?
Mm-hmm.
Hello from Georgia. I like that. Once I filed an EEO claim regarding my OWCP after I received a positive, and now I'm on this 60%. No, okay, so look, I don't get stumped often. I'm just not understanding. Why don't you give us a call and let us really help you, because I know we can help you.
Yeah.
If I could just get a verbal explanation of what you're talking about.
Or message us in the messenger. We can help you there too.
Yeah, we want to help, but I'm just not understanding your question. It's not that I don't necessarily know the answer. I just don't get it.
When you guys are going really fast and typing, you guys are seeing it go. We don't yet, because it takes a while.
So give us a
to
minute.
get, yeah. Angela White, 3 years. Wow. Yes, it is 3 years.
It is 3 years. I just read it from the CFR and the U.S. Code.
Hey, Pam.
What's up, Pam?
Carol said, what page was that on, the codes?
It's 127, and everything is before and after that, but that's the chapter. The 3 years starts on page 127.
Yarbeth said they had suspended me for 7 days for improper conduct because I reported it 5 days after my injury. It took me that long because I couldn't even barely walk. They said I needed to report it in the same day. Union did a grievance and they knocked it down to a discussion.
That happens all the time. Anytime the union gets involved with that, they back away because they're inconsistent on it too. I'm sure your union can find dozens of cases they didn't do that too. So they were just being punitive with you. So good job going to the union. So is there another question? Because I want to read this
I
part.
just want to say what Mary Golden said. We met Mary last week in Chicago. It was great seeing her in person with her husband. We had fun. She said, you are not alone. Everybody that's having an issue with your supervisors, every federal person, 99.9% has a crappy supervisor. This is something
or at least they've had a bad experience.
Yeah, and this is why we do this, so you guys could fix it for yourself and don't listen to the supervisor, because you should know what your rights are when filing an injury. Next.
So, woodshed moment. Anybody want to hear what the penalty is for doing some of this stuff?
I do.
So 20 CFR 10.16, it asks this question: what criminal and civil penalties may be imposed in connection with a claim under the FECA, or the Federal Employees Compensation Act, which is the law that we're talking about, okay? And letter A says this: a number of statutory provisions make it a crime, that's not my words, that's their words, make it a crime to file a false or fraudulent claim or statement with the government in connection with a claim under FECA, or to wrongfully impede a FECA claim. So I always ask this: would a supervisor wrongfully impede a FECA claim by threatening to fire you? If you felt that your job would be in jeopardy if you report your injury, would that wrongfully impede your claim? I think it would. If the supervisor said, and they lie to you, nah, you only had 3 days, time's up, too bad, would that wrongfully impede your claim? If they refuse to give you the forms or let you fill out the forms, would that wrongfully impede your claim? Well, the answer to all those is yes, absolutely it wrongfully impedes your claim, because the only way to have a claim is to fill out the forms with management. And so it says it's a crime. Okay, it's a crime. And then the U.S. Code, 18 U.S.C. 1922. There's a lot to unpack in this one sentence, but I'll read it a couple of times. It says, whoever induces, compels, or directs an injured employee to forgo filing an injury claim shall be fined, imprisoned, or both. Whoever induces, compels, or directs an injured employee to forgo filing an injury claim shall be fined, imprisoned, or both.
Yep.
Okay, you have a right to report your injuries. You have 3 years to do so. The supervisors shall fill out the forms and give you copies of everything, and they shall not disallow you from doing it, because it's a crime that carries imprisonment. So if these things happen to you, you contact OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA. You contact your union and insist on filing a grievance, and I don't care what union you're with. You have a right to get help. File a grievance. Contact EEO, tell them your story, and if they threaten to fire you, I suggest maybe call Eric Blowers and say, hey, they're inducing me to not file my injury claim. What do I do about it? Let's do something about it. Okay, let's fight back. And because 1 out of 7 injured people has an accepted claim. The other 6 don't. And 2/3 of the reason why not have nothing to do with bad narratives. It's because people are scared to report.
Yeah.
Or people don't know how to report. Okay? Well, you're here, so you can learn how to report. But it's hard for me to help you get over your fear. But the law can help you. And that's why there's a chapter in the book on law. Because we see these horror stories all the time. And they are all solvable by using the law. And so when you have a supervisor who says, I'm not letting you do that, I think you should say, do you know it's a crime to wrongfully impede a FECA claim? And it could carry a fine, imprisonment, or both. You don't believe me? Check out the law. What if you could just turn the book around and go, oh, check out the law.
Yep.
What are you going to do about this? I'm going to call OSHA right now because you won't let me file my injury. OSHA says I have a right to report an injury, and it says it's a crime. And then the law, the U.S. Code says it's a crime, and the CFR says it's a crime. So OSHA says it, the CFR says it, and U.S. Code says it. I bet it's a crime. let's test it out, supervisor. Let's test it
Yeah.
out, or let's fill out forms.
We hear it all the time, and we actually heard this with the bunch of people that showed up to our Wednesday night chat last week on St. Patty's in Chicago, that there are carriers out there that have current injuries, and even from Christmas, that haven't filed their injury because they're scared.
They're scared.
Don't be scared, because if they harass you, if they what's the word I'm looking for? They
Threaten
can't
you?
intimidate or threaten you.
Yeah.
They can't do that. Let them do it. Go there, stand up for yourself, take a steward. Every time we tell you guys, take a steward or a union rep when you're going to file your claim.
And stewards, in this book, I have a chapter just for you, and that's one of the high points. I want you to go and be available. Go with your members to report their injuries. Let me read something else. So I was talking about OSHA. So the last page in the book, before we get to the afterword, which is the last part of the book, I wrote a title, Threats of Termination or Retaliation After Filing OWCP Claims. So you can go to www.osha.gov/workers. OSHA.gov/workers. And here's what you're going to find. It is illegal for an employer to fire, demote, transfer, or otherwise retaliate against a worker for using their rights under the law. Remember, the sixth right, according to OSHA, is a right to report an injury. So it's illegal for them to prevent you from exercising your rights. And if you believe you've been retaliated against in any way, file a whistleblower complaint within 30 days of the alleged retaliation. If a worker believes an employer has retaliated against them for exercising their safety and health rights, like reporting an injury, they should contact their local OSHA office right away. A whistleblower complaint must be filed with OSHA within 30 calendar days from when the retaliatory decision was made and communicated to the worker. So you need to contact OSHA at 1-800-321-OSHA right away, because you have a 30-day window, right away, and tell them what happened. Okay, because if it's happening to you, it's happening to a lot of people before you, and it's going to keep happening to people after you, and you can stop it.
I see, Margaret Deffin, you said there are federal, state, and local laws and guidelines. So the 3 years is not always true.
Sorry, that's not true.
This is federal. It is true, and it is only 3 years. Now, if you're a state...
Wait, who said that?
This lady named...
Margaret. Margaret, no offense. Who told you that?
Yeah.
It's 3 years, okay? It's in the Code of Federal Regulations, and it's in the United States Code. It's not in like some state statute, because this is not a state program. It's federal. It's not any local statute, because it's definitely not a local program. It's federal. You all have 3 years. So listen to me, okay? You have 3 years. I gave you proof with 2 parts of law that say so.
Yeah.
It's 3 years, okay? Don't get tricked into not filing your work injury claims. It's 3 years. And I can prove it. I've been involved in thousands of OWCP claims that were approved, and many of those were old claims, okay? They got it in under the 3-year window. I know what I'm talking about here. And the law said so. And get the book, okay? Back up your arguments with facts, with law, okay? The book will help you. And I'm not here to sell books, but I did write the book to help, okay? So breakingowcp.com if you want it, and if you want the help. What else?
Okay, those of you that are asking about the book, it's for both books, book 1 and 2. You go to...
And get them both so you get a discount on the books.
www.
We have more W's than everyone else.
breakingowcp.com. One book is for $14.95. 2 books are for $22.
I get her every time on the W's, but that's what she gets, okay? If you're going to add so many W's, that's fine. We got more than everyone else. We do W's better than other people.
BK, you didn't get the second book?
Come on, BK. Let's go. Just kidding.
Jessica, I was just trying to go back up to where Jessica says, is compensation available to next of kin of deceased employees, COVID, if they are not spouses or minor in college age dependents?
Yeah, so there's a form. It's not on my website. Death makes me sad. I don't have any of the death forms on our site. But if you Google search OWCP forms, there's one. I think it's the CA5A, 5B, 5C, something like that. But it's a CA form with a 5 on it. I'm pretty sure those are the forms for death. And if that happened to somebody that you know and love, I'm sorry for you. My heart goes out to you.
Maria Perez, and anybody watching that's new on here, we have all of our videos on most of the topics that you guys are asking certain questions off of the supervisors, which is fine. But if you go to the videos tab, you can pull up all of our videos for like the last 4 years. So it's all on there. So Maria,
we've been doing this almost every week for 4 years.
Yeah, Maria, so why I say that, you said, how do you report an injury like carpal tunnel syndrome? Well, we'll go ahead and tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell.
Just remember, the videos are all labeled, and it says how to file a CA1, CA2, how and when to file.
But with that said, I mean, if you think you have carpal tunnel, and I'm not saying you don't, but I can't. I'm not a doctor. But you know your wrist hurts, your arms hurt, your hands hurt, whatever. What you do is you go to your supervisor and say, I need a form CA2. Write that down, okay? Form CA2 is any condition that develops over 2 or more shifts, 2 or more days, 2 or more weeks, 2 or more years, because you have 3 of those to report. So anything that happens over that period of time is a CA2, and almost always carpal tunnel syndrome develops over 2 or more days, weeks, months, or years. So go get a CA2, sit down with your supervisor and fill it out, and then get copies of everything as is the law.
Yep. Tona said, can we have a bring your doctor behind the shed night?
Believe me, I'm with you on that, because when I train my doctors, they feel like they've been back behind the woodshed, because we don't do denied claims. I tell them, on like almost day one of report writing of that training session, I say this. I say denials are for other doctors. Yep. We don't do that. And so don't come to me and say, I got a denied claim, because we're going to have a problem. Yeah. Because that's a fixable thing. You can send a perfect narrative report in on day one and get those claims approved.
Because she said, my doctor ignored all my correspondence over the past 8 months, and I just got a letter of termination.
Well, your doctor may, and I don't know your doctor, so don't say your doctor's name on here so that I can say this without slandering this person. Your doctor may be a coward, and I don't know, so don't tell me who the doctor is. But if so, you might want to find a less cowardly doctor.
Yeah. Darlene said, most supervisors have no clue about filling the paperwork. We hear this all the time. You couldn't be any more right.
Oh, but here's the good news. It's written in English, and it's easy to read. And if you read the questions, it's easy to answer. So I think they can handle it. I really do. I think now in one of these books, I talk about the Peter Principle, where someone is promoted to a point of incompetence, and many of your supervisors were, but nobody's so incompetent they can't read English and write in English. So don't let them get away with that.
Yeah,
Renee
Marie.
It's Renee Marie. Even I remember, and I've never even looked at it.
Anyways, Renee, I wish you guys were included in the new employee training so they would know who to reach out to and what their rights are, much like the union come to orientation to let people know about them and what they do.
Listen, what we're doing here is so much better than being included in new employee training. Well, here's what you can do. Tomorrow, I want you to go to work and post something on your bulletin board that tells people how to find us here, because we're here every week. You can get 4 solid hours of work comp training every month just by following us here. And so definitely get that done. And let's take a minute right now to tell everybody to be sharing this. I would hope everyone that's watched has hit the share button at least one time. We do reward shares. Whoever has the most shares every month, whoever has the most shares every month gets a prize. And they're nice prizes.
Oh, can I talk?
No. Okay. And so I want everyone sharing, and then I also want you to hit the like and follow button. Please, nobody be here and don't hit the like and follow button. It's too simply just go, what? It's like this. Imagine I'm holding my phone. Like, follow, share. That just happened. Like, follow, share.
So don't forget, if you are going to be the March share winner, we are going to give you a $100 gift card to your choice.
Plus 2 free books.
And the books. Okay. And I thought of something I'm going to tell Chris what we're going to do starting in April on a weekly basis. It's going to be fun.
Okay, I like having fun.
Gerald Adams said, hey, Chris and Gini, on Tour 3 and Tour 1, most doctors' offices are closed. You're right, because that's the time they're closed when you guys are at work.
Yeah.
So maybe you should explain it differently. They need to understand, unless it's an emergency, you can go home and go see your personal doctor in the morning. How are you guys doing?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, look, you can go see your personal doctor whenever you're ready to go. The point I'm making, and the point the law makes, is that nobody can get in the way of your right to choose your initial doctor. Your initial choice of physician is your right. And I like to ask people, as a federal employee, which of your rights would you like to give up right now? I hope that's not one of them, okay? Because the difference between a denied claim and an accepted claim often is in the choice of physician.
Yep. Ron, hey, how are you, Ron?
What's up, Ron?
He says, can you refer me to a good lawyer for action against my employer? Just curious, because what they put myself and my family through, I want to make sure I put them on notice for it to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Ron, so the only lawyer that I know other lawyers, and I'm not saying I don't like the other ones, but we work very closely with Eric Blowers. He represents federal employees in a number of things, okay, not just on federal workers' comp. So you can give Eric Blowers a call, and if you need his contact information, we can post it.
Okay, I want you guys to all pay attention to this. This comes from the NALC president in Staten Island, and he couldn't be any more correct.
And listen, when Rich is talking, somebody needs to be listening. Even I'm going to be quiet and listen.
Yeah, Rich Ray says, all letter carriers and clerks, mail handlers, and APW too, and roll carriers, in the USPS. Imagine this, if we all give statements and report everything that management does and has done to us with just injuries, think about this. We would have no management, it would just be us. Stand as one and ask, and if you have to demand your union and report these abusive management, we outnumber them. They need us more than we need them. Stand as one. This is our time to stand up and say no more. Perfectly said.
That's a mic drop moment. I hope you just dropped something.
Perfectly said. Please listen to him. We get presidents on here from time to time, but he is on it. Especially we did their training. Yeah. These guys are just waiting for us to come because they know their rights now.
Rich Ray's going to be national president one day.
Rich?
I'm serious. I'm not, no offense to your national president now. I don't personally know him, but Rich, you got it going on.
Yeah.
Man, you're good. I appreciate that. That was good comment.
Ron said, don't be scared, people. Be your own advocate for your health and well-being. Because I say this all the time. If you were no longer on Earth, tomorrow you would be replaced. The supervisors don't care what happens to you or your family members or anything that has to do with you.
There's exceptions.
Other than you being at work and delivering the mail.
Oh, no. I'm saying exceptions. Like, we know supervisors that do care, but you should assume this, that your back pain is only yours. You're the only one experiencing it. Your supervisor and everyone else is sleeping real good because they don't have the back pain you do, the knee pain, the shoulder pain, whatever, you know? So you got to take care of yourself. And you're the only one that can make it to retirement for you. Your retirement benefits are yours. How are you going to make it to retirement if you can't make it through your next work shift?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't let management tell you the wrong thing, either on purpose or on accident. Doesn't matter. The rule is the rule. There's no exception to the rule when it comes to law. So again, many of you, okay, more than 1,000 of you have this book, and that's awesome. But there are 2.9 million of you, okay? I wrote this so that you stop having these problems. And I'm talking about it. Look, I'll come here and just read the book to you if that's what it takes so that you'll have the information. But you got to get this information. You got to share it with someone else, okay? If you've gotten the book and you read it, pass it on. Or, tell somebody that it's there. But we want no one to be alone. Nobody is on an island by themselves anymore. You're all there. I'm here. Rich is there. Okay, you all have a responsibility to help someone else. That's what you're doing when you hit the share button. Those of you that are here and that have been here for a long time, you know that we don't ask for anything from you. Okay, sharing and increasing the audience doesn't benefit us, financially. I hate to even talk about that. It benefits you and your coworkers, your friends, your family. So take care of yourself, take care of your coworkers, and let them know this information's out here.
Yep. Rich said it's time for us to stand as one. Enough is enough.
Yeah. That's
hey,
right.
Rich, when you become, when you're gonna run for president, national president, I'm gonna be your cheerleader coordinator with the big mic. Trust me.
So I don't have a mic to drop, but Rich, you should have dropped it. But because I don't have a mic, I'm gonna drop Baby Group right now. That's a Baby Group drop. That was a baby.
You have to look the other way.
That was a Baby Groot drop moment.
Look at him.
Rich, I dropped Baby Groot for you.
Oh my God. The Oh.
Go ahead.
Lisa Moore said, rescue from the post office to hospital supervisor never came, never brought the CA-16. He gave me a blank one 4 days later. I managed to get
a blank CA-16? Wad that up and put it in the trash. It's no good without it being filled out and signed.
I managed to get my claim accepted. Been over a year. Injury
Great.
Getting much worse. Hospital, clinic, and not following OWCP Fed injured comp. other than filling out my CA20 and 17, major nerve and vascular and upper body. Lisa, I pinned the number down below. Give us a call at any of the phone numbers and let us talk to you.
Also, your claim is accepted. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to hear it. I'm concerned your diagnosis is bad, and they usually are. They're not the correct diagnosis. But if your doctors aren't helping you, this is another reason to go to this book site. So breakingowcp.com. And there's a tab called a free forms tab. And I want you to get the form that's called Change of Treating Doctor. And these are forms I created. They're not official forms, but through seeing all the problems you guys have, I made these documents to help you navigate the problem. So you can use this Change of Treating Doctor form to formulate your own Change of Treating Doctor letter to send to your claims examiner. And it sounds like you need a change of treating doctor.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. I mean, I don't know your doctor, but you just basically said, they're not helping me. And that's unacceptable.
Hey, Mr. Mozar. Mozar is the... Mr.
Mozar.
Nick.
Nick.
Mozar is the mail handler state president in Florida.
Yeah.
We love him so much.
Big fans of Nick.
He's got a great set of union members.
That's right.
Melissa James just bought the book.
Thanks, Melissa. I hope it helps. Well, it will help. If you read it and share it with somebody else, you'll help yourself and someone else.
And speaking of those of you that bought the book and you're still waiting,
They're all en route.
It is shipped, but for some odd reason, it's sitting in the post office.
Well, okay. So that's true, and that's not a knock on the post office.
No,
but
it's not.
The bigger issue is that we were out of town last week in Chicago, and I was delayed by a few days shipping things out, which happens. I usually tell you if I'm going to be out of town, like I just did at the beginning of this. So we're going to be out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Any books you order, I promise to ship the very second I get home. But when we're out of town, it's hard for me to ship those. But I never forget. I get back, my computer gives me a notice. Boom, you've got orders you need to process, and I handle it.
Yeah.
If you order it tonight, it'll be out the door tomorrow.
So, Piper, that's your answer. Can't wait for you to receive it either.
Yeah.
Judy Frazier says, USPS union will tell you that you have 3 years to file an injury claim. I was informed by a union at the meeting.
Great.
Well, they're supposed to. You do have 3 years.
Yeah, they're right. So good job on them giving you the right information. I appreciate when the unions are working with us. That's good. That's awesome.
Cindy said, the books are amazing. More union reps needed.
Thank you, Cindy.
Lisa Moore said, can I go to a different hospital if I've been misdiagnosed? Hospital clinic in my area is bad. Union does not call me back and has not been helpful at all.
I don't know what to tell you about that aside from I'm handling the union thing first. You can escalate that. Our union presidents here always say if you're not getting help, go up the ladder. So get a hold of your union. You can search your union online like NALC, APW, and you can find a representative that will help you. Most of the time, that's not a problem, thankfully. In our experience, union presidents and union stewards are top-notch, and they're wanting to help. If you have one that's not, I think that's part of the deal. Sometimes you're going to have that.
Yeah.
But escalate that.
Madeline.
As far as, can you change hospitals? You can change doctors. You need to do it in writing with a change of treating doctor letter that you send to your claims examiner. And my free form on the website, breakingowcp.com, will help you formulate, put that letter together.
Madeline said Gini is the best with all the info.
No doubt.
Just joking. She said you guys are the best.
Well, I'll give you credit. But I know who cooks my dinner. So yeah, it's all her. Are you kidding me? She gets the best information.
Carol said, for a CA2, is there a 3-year rule from the time of onset or the last day you work with the condition? This is where it can get confusing.
Yeah, so there's a thing out there that says date of last exposure, and 3 years from there. But in general, what people should what you should know is you have 3 years on a CA2 from the date you realized that the problem was work related. I have a knee problem, and I blew out my knees playing football. And if my knee starts hurting again in the same spot, it doesn't mean it's the same ligament. It could be another one. And so I'm just sucking it up, and over time. But one day I go, geez, well, for a living, I carry the mail 10 miles a day. I might have a work injury. And at that point, I have 3 years.
Yep. Tess Price said, hey, I filed my CA7 about having to have a total hip replacement, and doctor said it was overworked because of my job, but I haven't heard anything. What do I do? Give us a call. the number below, and we'll help you with that on a personal level.
But with that said, if you're not hearing anything, I mean, you're not hearing anything from your doctor, from your claims examiner, depends on who you're not hearing anything from. If it's a claims examiner, you have to call them and say, hey, what's up? If it's a doctor, you have to call the doctor and say, hey, do your job.
Aw, Miss Lee? Is that how do you say that?
Yeah, Angel Lee.
Yeah. Said explosive information.
Hey, thanks.
Okay, let me tell you guys something. I know you guys are sending stars. So
I don't even know what that means,
okay.
but thanks.
So
you're all stars.
So sending stars gives us money, which we do not want from you.
Yeah, we don't want money. What?
So,
how do we get the money?
So
let's give it back.
I have no clue. But I'm going to go through Facebook and I'm going to find out. I know it's just pennies, like pennies.
I don't want you to pay us anything.
Please do not give us stars because we're not doing this for any money.
No.
We don't want any money.
No.
This is free. But
so I'm looking at stars going, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the
stars.
thought is
that's
very...
not cool anymore.
Yeah, the thought's very sweet. What we would prefer is you share, bring your friends on and get them to follow. That's the reward we want.
So right there, it says stars enabled. That makes me think.
So we have
that makes me think we can do stars disabled.
Yeah.
She hasn't. That's fine. So she hasn't been listening to me all week. I have a sentence, and 3 words into a 10-word sentence, she's already talking like she heard the whole thing already.
I did, yeah.
So she didn't. We got to figure out how to disable it.
I am. Ann Williams said, I have a rotator cuff surgery 5 times, CT 2 times. I retired in 2003. I'm still having problems with my injuries, dull and achy pain. I found out last year that they closed my claim number in OWCP, and I didn't know that could happen. Now I'm writing to see if they will open it back up because of my pain. I was never told I have left work with retirement disability. That would have been some great news.
Yeah, when your doctor gets your claim accepted, writes good narratives, that'll open it too. Most claims are closed due to inactivity, like you're not getting more help from the doctor, you took a few months off, but claims can be reopened. Okay,
so Ashley and everybody else, I have pinned attorney Eric Blowers' phone number, the book where you can buy it, the website, and our 800 numbers for you guys to call us. So everything is right down below. It's pinned at the bottom.
So it's been an hour. We're going to go a little bit longer because I'm sure we have more questions, but I want to take this time again to say again, share, and hit the like and follow buttons. Okay, it's really important. When you follow this, you get to see when we post something important or when we're going live in case you forget because your life's busy. So please, like, follow, share. Don't forget.
Rich Ray said, I'm taking Chris with me. It's probably to the meeting.
Oh, man, they don't want that. Could you imagine? Okay, could you imagine, like, going to report an injury, and you got Rich and Chris standing behind you?
And we need to bring Al in. They're done after that. After Al and Rich and Chris
they don't even need me if it's Rich and Al. I can sit back.
They'd be scared watching the three Stooges coming in. They're going to run and quit their jobs as supervisor.
Actually, so this is my vision of it. So Al and Rich are there. And I'm over on the side with my popcorn like this. Because that would be entertaining. I'd love to see that.
All right.
Rich, by the way, you and Al are both NALC, so you guys have that in common too.
Melissa, I have where you can get the book. It's www.breakingowcp.com.
Lots of W's.
Sheila Collins, I wanted to put in a claim. My supervisor says she doesn't have time to do it.
1-800-321-OSHA.
Do it when you come back. It won't be back till June.
1-800-321-OSHA. You have 30 days to call OSHA, so tomorrow's a good day.
Listen to this. Felicia Craig said, the books are amazing. After I got them, I finally got approved. Well,
Boom.
Look at that.
Hey, Felicia, thanks. Guess what? That was the idea. I'm glad that worked. Thank God. I'm glad that worked. And more of you, too.
Rich says, any city carrier, shop stewards on here, I have a grievance template and starters regarding COP, failure to provide COP. Message me your email. I'll email them over to you.
Boom. Hey, good job. Help. Thank you for the help.
Lisa Moore said, do Office Express shipping on your book. It wouldn't be an understatement to save my hopeless level at 100%. I've done everything I can. Lisa, please give us a call tomorrow. One of our case managers will help you.
Happily.
Tomorrow for sure.
Happily. That's what we do. We help our doctors and we help you. That's what we're here for.
So again, if any letter carriers and letter carrier stewards are on here, you can email Rich and he'll give you that template about COP. And
if you're management and you're still here after a full hour, you've got to be transformed by now. I mean, you got to be better already. So good job sticking it out.
Ron says, not bad-mouthing Eric here, but is Eric overworked? Just curious, because our initial conversation was very short. I felt rushed. When I went to another lawyer, referred me through you guys. They listened to my whole story and helped me immediately, mainly because I had everything they needed and had a lot of records.
So Eric is busy because he's so good, but he hired 2 other lawyers to help. He's got other offices. And, you know, in fairness, just so you know, Eric and I are pretty close. He's fast with me, too. Sometimes I'm not sure we finish the conversation before it's over. That's just Eric.
Tess, I need you to message me because you're saying you're not hearing from the CA7 I filed. I will call. Thanks. Tess, you can't file a CA7 until your claim gets approved.
Yeah, if your claim's not approved, they won't pay you no matter what.
Yeah. Mike Joseph said, so they want me to fill out a CA2A after I had a worsening condition. It's sent off by a doctor. What's my options?
Let me say that again. So they want me to fill out a CA2A after... Okay, that's all I need to know. So they mean is supervisors, I'm sure.
Probably.
Never fill out a CA2A without discussing it with your doctor first. Ever. Remember a second ago I said I have that blown out knee, right? Well, what if I had a blown ACL, later on my knee's hurting again, and I say, yeah, well, that's just a recurrence. Then I have a recurrence paperwork filled out. We do an MRI, and we found out it's the PCL, which is a whole other ligament. That's a new injury. So don't ever fill out a 2A without going to the doctor first to make sure that it's the same condition. Because if it's new, you have to fill out a new CA1 or CA2 depending on how the injury happened. That's very important.
Renee Marie. Oh my gosh. You would think I'm drinking. I only drink water and sweet tea. She said, so management, every occasion you guys see me with a drink. I'm very social.
It's tea. I just drink water.
It's like one.
So
management seems to like discuss cases on the work floor and or if I come on my day off, they discuss it at the window. I haven't found a comfortable and acceptable way to tell them this is inappropriate and involves private information. What do you recommend? I've been told you have to put management on notice on such things before filing a grievance. So here's what I have to say because we heard it from the state president here of NALC. Contact Department of Justice. That is a HIPAA violation. Contact them. Just go to Department of Justice homepage, scroll down where you can file a complaint and file that complaint.
Yeah, and in page 113 of book 2, this is a chapter for management. It says, this is the heading, never gossip or disclose private health information. Never do that, okay? When that's done, definitely go to your union as well. File a grievance right away. You can win that. Management has to keep private health information private.
Yeah. I'm telling you, do what I told you to do. You can contact OSHA and tell them that they've done this, and you can also contact Department of Justice. They take care of all that HIPAA stuff when things
start going. The Privacy Act, HIPAA,
yeah.
Those things, that's law as well. So everyone's required to follow the law, whether they like it or whether they even understand it or not. They're required to follow it.
Tom Giampa says,
what's up, Tom?
Tell Chris sorry for texting him so many times while he was on live.
Hey, Tom, guess what? I'm looking at my phone right now, and the vibration of it is off. The sound's off. I had no idea.
Billy Bird said, does this information apply to RCAs as well? Thank you for all you guys do. Yes, it does, Billy.
It does. I mean, you guys are in a tough position being RCAs anyways, but you're federal employees, and as federal employees, the rules apply to you as well.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, Jessica Rhodes says employer is not a covered entity under HIPAA, but there's still the Privacy Act. That's why I said that. We all know what HIPAA is, but people don't realize the Privacy Act is a separate thing, and you are covered under that. All right, so we're only going to answer like a couple of more questions. Otherwise, I fear that I won't sleep tonight because we could do this all night long. So ask me 2 more questions.
So, Ron, you said, what if your shop steward and management is discussing your info on the floor? Same thing.
Come on, shop stewards. Why would you do
cool.
that? Talk to your union president, too. That can't happen.
Yeah.
You stewards got to know better.
Okay, so like Rich said, go to your union ASAP or call your NBA. See, the thing is, NALC has NBAs, your national business agent. And I know there's only 9 of them nationwide, but we can assist. But a lot of the times we tell you to contact your NBA because we know that should be one of your first steps.
And your MBAs are intensely interested in helping you, and they're good at it. They're very good at it.
Because they deal with OWCP.
And when you talk to your MBA, tell them I said so. They're good at it, okay? I want to be friends.
Okay.
Just kidding. I mean, I do, but I was joking.
Yarbeth said, I had called the EAP and they recommended I talk to a counselor, but they are located in the same building. But I don't know if I should talk to them because I know everything's said or done. Everyone ends up knowing. Eek.
In my opinion, EAP is safe, and it wouldn't bother me at all to go talk to them. I think it's safe.
Rural carriers don't have NBA. They have union reps, district union reps.
That's right.
So Renee Marie, that's who you go to. Latrice, hey, it was good seeing you last week. Thank you for coming by.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so that's it that we have to tell you. Unless you guys have questions about what supervisors should or should not be doing. In the meantime, don't forget to follow, like, and share. Follow, like, and share. Everybody, follow, like, and share.
All together now.
And
if we didn't get to your questions, don't worry, because my staff is on here watching and reading, and you will see that you will get your questions answered by commenting under your comments.
Yeah, so what happens, you guys have been, you see comments responding to your stuff. It's one of the girls that are on here. They're probably all on here. So they're responding to some of these. That's why I haven't read them. But where are you going to be in Chicago? So we were in Chicago last Wednesday, Thursday,
right downtown.
Friday.
Like, what, 2 minutes away from that Drake Hotel?
Yeah, so the address to Dr. Archeleo's office is 1749 North Wells Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60614.
Look at that, everyone.
Woo!
Hey, you better drop Baby Groot.
Bad as a mother.
She is a mother.
Renee said, Rich, make it happen. Oh, Rich is telling everybody they should the rural carriers should become city carriers. Yep.
Whoa,
See, Pamela, follow, like.
Hey, that was Rich. Okay, Rich, I don't get involved like that. I love my rural carrier friends, okay? But I hear you.
Okay. I want to thank you both. I really feel blessed finding both of you. You are the best. Aw.
Thanks, Rich.
Was it quite cold there? It was cold, but I loved it.
It wasn't like...
It wasn't ice cold like when it was
2 years ago.
minus 14.
Like, who would live in minus 14 degrees? If I knew minus 14 was coming, I'd sell my house and move to Hawaii. I mean, that's it. I'm gone. That's it. What kind of place does minus 14? Coming from a guy, I'm from Texas, where we hit plus 114 all the time. So, in fact, when I was 5 years old, we had like a week of every day was 114. It was so hot, I still remember it. And I was 5. That was awful.
Nick Moser said, thank you guys, 6 feet apart. We missed you, Mr. Moser. Let us know when we can meet up with you soon.
Yeah.
Tona Ferris said, when and if can we please see you in Vegas? Hey, I'm Roll. So we were in Vegas.
Wait. Did somebody say Vegas?
Yeah.
You can see me in Vegas.
We were in Vegas in January, and we sent out an invite. Well, we posted it on here where we were gonna be. We were at the Hilton.
And we were bombarded with 0 people.
Yeah.
So we'd love to go there and meet with you and all of your friends, because if you know me, you know I like the cards.
Bye, Mary.
See ya.
Madeline, thank you, have a blessed week. What if your doctor leaves state and does not close your case?
Doctors don't close cases. Doctors don't close cases. They stop treating you when cases close on their own. If they leave the state, you change treating doctors right away. Find somebody else. All right.
So, for the share winner, it could be multiple share winners, but remember, if you are the share winner for the month of March...
The munch?
See, I don't know what's wrong with me. The month of March...
You need a drink of water?
No, I don't need a drink of water. If you are the share winner for the month of March, not only do you get a $100 gift card of your choice...
$100 gift card of their choice?
Mm-hmm. And a free set. Plus, next month we'll be adding some little things to that. So... No injury center. We're coming to Vegas. So,
oh, God. So,
yeah.
I mentioned this at the beginning, and a lot of you didn't hear it, but I am in very serious talks with a doctor with 3 Las Vegas area offices. He's a super guy. I'm just trying to convince his lawyer to let up a little bit so he can sign our agreement.
I don't drink wine, Rhonda. I don't like it.
We leave that to the young people in this house.
I don't drink wine. I don't drink beer. I don't drink straight liquor. I have to have it super fruity. Tom said we currently are trying to get there. Yep. So
like Tom said, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So don't forget, guys, share, like, and follow. Help us get to 10,000 followers, at least by the end of April.
Which is just like the movie with Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr., the football movie.
The football movie. I don't remember the football
I'm really good with movie titles, and I'm forgetting this one, but he said, help me, help you.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Maguire, help me, help you. The point I'm making is when more people follow, we're able to help more of you. So you're helping me help other people. So thanks a lot for that. What we got?
Dawn said, I feel for you. I was... okay. So Brad Flowers said, not primarily OWCP related, but I have returned from OWCP. And anytime I take a sick day, my postmaster, my postmaster, which does not like me, comes to my house and follows me or my wife. Any info?
Restraining order? I don't know. That's crazy. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
But look, start by going to your union. Let's ask Rich Ray what he would do about that. But go to your union and make that stop.
Rhonda,
there's got to be a rule against that.
Rhonda margaritas. Heck yeah, I love margaritas. Pamela, beauty with a cocktail. So what Pam's saying is follow me
here we go.
on my page, Beauty on Her Cocktail. Will I show you how to create
Look, Rich said call 911.
Yes.
Rich, yes, I should have said that. Great one. Call 911 because there's some crazy guy following me. Yes, Kim, that's right. Jerry Maguire. How did I get that wrong?
Tona said, I love you both. Can't wait to see you soon. I'm your biggest fan.
Nah, we're your biggest fan. We love you too.
Yeah, so follow me on my Facebook page, ladies. Beauty and Her Cocktail, where I create makeup looks.
Men too, you know, if you dudes want to do some makeup.
And I make fun drinks. My son and Chris do this.
This is just water.
Rich Ray said, I have a quick story.
Hit it.
Go. Yep, stalker. Yeah, they can't be stalking you like that. So don't forget, follow, like, and share.
Follow, like, and share?
And share.
Be sure you share then.
Share. Don't forget to be a share winner.
Yeah, Tess, call tomorrow. We'll help you out. No problem.
Yeah.
Got you.
What else? We are coming to your state. Please don't worry. We have 11 states with 24 offices coming up in the next 60 days. Hang tight. So as you see, we did the marketing campaign for Chicago. As soon as the next one's ready to go, which we will be in Louisiana and Alabama in the month
South Carolina.
April.
South Carolina too.
And so we're gonna do like a three trips in 1 week, maybe.
April's gonna be real busy, but yeah, we're gonna go from Florida up to Alabama, across to South Carolina, and then we're gonna probably finish up in Louisiana. We may go Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina, but we're definitely hitting all three.
Angel Lee said, yes, I love doing makeup. Follow my page. Latrice, I need to know where I can find the form to switch doctors. I'm going to Dr. Arcoleo tomorrow.
Check it out. Look, see this? BreakingOWCP.com. Okay? Go to the free forms tab, and there's a form in there that says change of treating doctors. Pick it up.
Here's Rich Ray's story on supervisors or postmasters following you. When I started as a steward, they followed me for 65 days straight. I called 911. The dumb supervisor did not have ID. He was arrested for stalking me. Well.
Talk about a woodshed moment. Nice job, Rich.
Angel, you said, is Charlotte one of them? Yes, is Charlotte, North Carolina coming?
Charlotte is the area where we're working with a doctor who's having having struggles with his MD. So yeah, that doctor's hot to work with us, but his MD's not. So he's making a change.
When are we coming, Pam? Down by Fort Myers. You want to see us this time? We'll be back again. So don't think.
Yeah, that was fun. We love going down there. So we're gonna come back. We want to help you. So there's this other topic I want to address.
Okay.
Many of you know that we had an office that we were attempting to work with here in Florida, in Clearwater, and we had every intention to make that work. We had a good friendship relationship going on, and it just, I don't know what happened. It kind of fell apart. So, unfortunately, that office in Clearwater is no longer part of federal injury centers. I'm not telling you they don't still help federal workers. I'm saying they're not with us. And so be patient with us. If you're dead set on being a federal injury or at a federal injury center's office, we want to help you. And that's why we're opening up or working to open up another 10 locations around the state and then some. That's just 10 with one doctor group. So we're on that. But we've been getting a lot of questions about it. We've had some upset people Believe me when I tell you, it wasn't our intention to end that that relationship.
Nothing
because
to do with us.
we want to help you, and we love helping you, and we do that, as you know, through our franchise and expanding our list of doctors in each state, following our rules, so that you don't have to pay money out of your pocket, and so that you always get your claim accepted for free.
Yeah.
And so, I don't want to go into more detail because I don't like talking bad about anybody behind their back. That's not fair to anyone. So I'm just going to leave it there and let you know that we are working to solve the problem. And our solution will be better for you than previously, because
Oh, you're going to love this.
previously people were driving from like South Carolina to get all the way down here. And, now we're just going to have a South Carolina office and a Georgia office and multiple Florida offices. So for those of you in this area, you'll just be able to find an office much easier and get to it much faster with less hassle as a result. So that's the silver lining.
So in Louisiana, it's going to be Baton Rouge and what was the other city?
Well, it's Walker and it's Alexandria. Walker is outside of Baton Rouge, and Alexandria is an hour and a half, like northwest of that.
When are we coming to Georgia? As soon as we get a doctor.
Yeah, so I'm talking to a guy in South Atlanta, and I've got another call with a guy in Columbus on Friday afternoon.
Okay, those of you that are saying doctors in your state that we may want to train. Okay, so first of all, we just don't train doctors. They have to join the franchise.
And that's because they have to sign our agreement.
Yeah.
And they have to agree to follow the rules. I don't tell doctors how to treat, but I do tell them how to take care of you so that you're not paying money out of your pocket, so that they're forced to train, and so they can be experts like me.
Yeah.
And so in order to guarantee they'll do it, they have to sign our contract. So they, in writing, agree to do it.
Yeah.
And that's to your benefit.
So if anybody wants to give us information about your doctors, first of all, you must tell your doctors and have them call me. If you want them to call me, message me, please, and I will give you a number for them to contact me. Rich Ray said, anything we can do to help you with finding doctors.
Hey, Rich, if you've got a doctor up there that has therapy in the office so they can actually help your folks get better, and stop, as you said, going homeless. I never forgot that, by the way. If you know a doctor you guys really like, I'd like to talk to that doctor. And if I can come to the doctor and say, Rich Ray told me that I should speak to you. Rich is a union president. You should listen to him, doc. That'll go a long way towards the doc actually saying yes. But we just really struggle getting doctors to say yes to learning federal workers' comp. And in all cases, once they learn it, they go, oh, man, I should have been doing this forever. I wish I would have done this sooner. So, yeah, I'd love to be able to say to a doctor, hey, you know that guy Rich, who, you know him, or Rich is a patient of you or whatever. He says you should talk to me. That'll go a long way towards that doctor actually speaking with me, and I'd be happy to.
Yeah, Renee, you said, do I need to consider traveling to get my case approved, or just read the book and learn all I can talk with my doctors through what is needed?
That's a whole different conversation. You got to make a personal decision on that one, but I do think if you read the book, you can advise your doctor to an extent on what they can do to help.
Can the doctor in Greenville help with my schedule award rating when I'm ready? From Kat.
So all of our doctors are required to undergo impairment rating training for the 6th edition so they can do schedule awards. They don't all already know how to do it, but in the end, they all learn how to do it. So everyone hang on. We're working on it.
A lot of doctors are afraid to do DOL and won't mess with it. Yeah, we know.
That's right. We know.
All right, everybody. Well, we hope that you take the knowledge and the rules and laws and the regulations that we told you guys tonight and use it and be like what Mr. Ray said. Stand up. You guys come together, file your grievances. Don't let management push you around, harass you, stalk you, discuss your stuff on the floor. You have OSHA, EAP, your union, Department of Justice, you have your national people to go to, you have your NBA. Stop being scared. File it. They cannot fire you. They cannot fire you for filing and going to them about your injury. And don't forget, you have 3 years to file your injury.
3 years.
3 years. So please remember that.
I don't care what anybody says. You have 3 years. I don't care what anybody says. You have 3 years.
Is there a third book coming?
Yeah.
There's a third book, but we were not going to say what.
But here's what let me tell you what you're going to really love about the third book. The third book, you ready? Mm-hmm. The third book's going to be free.
Yes.
100% free. All the way free. It'll be free all the way down to 0. Free. That's the third book. I haven't written it yet. I don't even have an idea for it yet. But I wrote the first one in 3 days before I ever had an idea. So the idea will come. I've been talking with somebody about it, and it may even be a co-written book with a doctor that I know, which would make it really interesting because it will have some doctors inside as well. But yeah, the next book's coming to you, and it'll be free to you.
Yeah, Rakesh, yes, we are working on talking to some doctors in California. Trust us, we want to put like 100 doctors in California because it's so stinking big.
I talked to them today.
So there was a few of them we spoke to already.
Yeah.
Rich Ray said, I still have a job after thousands of grievance. And
Way to go,
Rhonda
Rich.
said, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
That's
we
it.
will see you next week on another topic. Please don't forget to share to be March's share winner. You have one more Wednesday to share before we pick. And we'll do some more fun things starting April along with our share winners. And please don't forget to tell your friends to follow, like, and share. If everybody on here, we had a couple thousand people watching. If everybody on here shares just one time on their page, it doesn't have to be your union page. You can post it on your personal page.
We can double the number of people we help.
Yes, and this is all we're trying to do. So with that said, we will see. Whoops. I love you guys, and Jennifer too. Almost 3 years, I finally got my case accepted, claim accepted.
Look, let me end with this, and those of you that have been following us, you already know this. If you're new, you'll think, really? But really, no, we love you.
Yeah.
And that's why we do it. This is all about that we love you guys. So thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. Please share more often. I want all of you to have a chance to win the share contest. And, looking forward to seeing you all in various cities around the country. When we come travel to you, we hope you'll all show up, especially you out there in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we are traveling to New Jersey for a personal reason, just for 2 days. We fly Friday night, and we come back Sunday night. So my TSA folks in Tampa Airport and Newark Airport, we look forward to seeing you guys. And when you see us, please say hi. Ask for a brochure. I'm going to put them in my backpack this time. And
I'm the other guy.
Yeah, this is the other guy with me when you guys
And that
see
other guy that's with you, that's me. Okay, so I'll try to wear my Federal Injury Center's mask and shirt and hat. Lights, I don't know what I'll do, so you know that I'm there also. It's not just her.
Yeah, I'm going to have him put I'm the other guy and walk right behind me.
I'm the other guy.
Aw, Tina said these guys are for real.
Thanks, Tina.
Thank you.
All right, so no, nobody needs to change doctors. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. All right.
See you guys next week.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.